Voting is a civic duty. Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe television. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of a 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. First, our major stories. A young girl who left Douala for Kribi has been killed. She was first of all kidnapped and later killed, and her corpse thrown into a bush. The kidnapper had earlier demanded the sum of 200,000 francs CFA as ransom from her family members. The 17-year-old girl left Douala for Kribi in search of a job. Away from that, His Royal Majesty Jules Wilson of Cochin Village in the Northwest region says he has never given the title of Fund of Funds to the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Fecafoot. He insists that he gave him the title of Tumfon, in other words, meaning messenger of the phone. And also will take you out of Cameroon, where at least 70 persons have died in a gasoline tanker explosion neighboring north and central Nigeria. Those are top stories. Stay with us for greater details. Voting is a civic duty. Let's register on the electoral list. This is a message from Equinoxe television. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. First, our major stories. A 17-year-old girl dies after she left Douala for Kribi in search of a job. The said girl is said to have gone for a job in Kribi after she was contacted on social media about a job offer. However, after being unable to pay a ransom of 200,000 francs CFA, the girl was later killed and her corpse dumped in a forest. Away from that, we'll tell you how the chief of Cochin Village says he never attributed an award to the president of Fecafoot, Samuel Etofis. According to him, he gave the award or the title of Tumfon, which means messenger, and not that of funds as it has been purported by several people on social media. And finally, we'll tell you how at least 70 persons have died in the gasoline tanker explosion in neighboring north central Nigeria. Those are top stories. Stay with us for greater details. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe television for presentation. I am Immaculate Fogwe. We begin with this sad story as the lifeless body of a young lady has been found in an advanced state of decomposition in Kribi. It is found in the Ocean Division in the south region of Cameroon. According to reports, the young girl who resided in Douala had left for a job after seeing it on social media from someone who claimed to be the owner of an enterprise that was based in Kribi. Upon her arrival in Kribi, she was instead kidnapped and a ransom of 200,000 francs demanded from her family members. The alleged kidnapper and murderer threatened on phone severally to kill his victim if the ransom is not paid as soon as possible. The lady was finally killed and her corpse discovered in Kribi in an advanced state of decomposition. Investigations have been launched by security elements, and we are hoping that justice will be served. Still in relation to this case, recent cases of kidnappings have been on the rise in major cities of Cameroon and also in towns. Be it on motorbikes or taxis, victims have been lured as they go in search for a better life. The phenomenon is on the rise, and most times victims are women. Sedi Chakutio spoke with an activist on the reasons behind this rise and what people can do to protect themselves in the face of indifference of the authorities. His report.
Kidnapping, which consists of seizing someone and holding them against their will, generally by force, often with the intention of exchanging them for a ransom or compensation in kind, is becoming recurrent in Cameroon. Victims of this phenomenon are mostly kids, adolescents and university students.
Il y a la vulnérabilité des jeunes filles
This is due to the vulnerability of young girls and children and the insecurity that keeps on increasing. In the case of young girls, there is an intermediary in whom these victims put their trust.
Ces victimes-là font confiance. Et donc, ce n'est pas un aspect à négliger. Pour le cas des enfants, on peut les appâter assez facilement.
For children, we can bait them with sweets and other things.
C'est vraiment le taux d'insécurité qui va grandissant dans notre environnement, mais c'est aussi qu'il y a cette vulnérabilité, non seulement des jeunes filles, mais également des enfants.
According to Clarence Yongo, civil society actor, this phenomenon is increasing due to the level of insecurity in the country. To her, these students have to keenly verify on who they give their confidence and the kind of job opportunities they find on social media.
Vous êtes une jeune fille, vous êtes à la recherche d'un emploi, quelqu'un vous contacte.
Some young girls are contacted through social media and messengers to whom they will be offered huge sum of money for a small job. Then they will quickly run for it.
Messenger aujourd'hui auquel on propose vraiment parfois des sommes mirobolantes pour presque rien du tout. Tout de suite, vous allez vous dire que oui, ça c'est une opportunité en or, mais non, posez-vous des questions à deux fois.
Clarence Yongo puts 60% of the blame on the government, who she says is not giving guarantees of protection to these youths.
La responsabilité première revient au gouvernement. Parce que, comme on le dit, l'État est le chef de famille.
The first responsibility goes to the government.
De sa famille, des membres de sa famille. Alors, donc, si on est en insécurité, parce que c'est cette insécurité également qui entraîne les cas de féminicide qu'on a. Il y a beaucoup de cas d'insécurité dans la comptabilité des féminicides.
The state is the head of the family. Today we are not only calling on the government to tackle the problems head on, we are also calling on parents to talk to their children.
Discuter avec leurs enfants pour davantage leur donner des outils de protection lorsqu'ils sortent de l'école, lorsqu'ils sont dans la rue, parce que malheureusement on a l'impression que ça devient le Far West.
Parents are called upon for the protection.
Now we talk something else. Most localities in the Mayo-Sava division for the past 4 years have been unsafe for inhabitants who are constantly being attacked by terrorist groups. Another attack that occurred in Mora early this month left one person dead and several others injured. Those suspected to have orchestrated the said attack have been arrested. Malakari now reports to us on some of the security challenges faced by the population of Mora.
30-year-old Aji Zainam is suspected to be a member of a group of terrorists that has been giving sleepless nights to the population of Mayo-Sava division in the far north region. The gang of 4 were arrested after a recent attack that led to the death of one person and 2 injured. Arrested by elements of the Mora Gendarmerie Company with the assistance of Vigilante Committee, they were presented to the public.
Ça fait maintenant depuis plus de 4 ans.
This man, who wishes to remain anonymous, says insecurity has been the order of the day in most villages in the division for the past 4 years. He is a victim and testifies that the last attack took place during the day. Despite the increasing level of insecurity in this area, the local population depend on the vigilante, who also have their own challenges. He says they can't cover a long distance and lack equipment as the terrorists are armed. For this reason, gendarme officers led by Commander of the Gendarmerie Legion of the Far North region, Colonel Joseph Désiré Ngele, provided some assistance to these vigilante group to assist them in doing their job.
Also, we went to Tolkomari to encourage our people, our element there, which people have been attacked by terrorists in the month of vigilante group. We also encourage them. That's why we are here in the village of Melamayo and also in Tolkomari.
From there, the security officers visited one of the vigilante who sustained injuries in the recent attack and was hospitalized in a health unit in Mora. And then a condolence visit to Walai Mayo in Tokomberi to families of some vigilantes tragically killed during the attack. The people of the Mayo-Sava division need more of this support to completely put an end to terrorist activities in the division.
And now to one of our major lead story. His Royal Majesty Jill Wilson of Caution Village in the Northwest region, the Menchum Division, Northwest region of Cameroon, says he has never given the title of Fund of Funds to the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Fekafoot. He insists that he gave him the title of Tumfon, in other words, messenger of the fund. Babla Jonathan has greater details.
Information suggesting that the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, had been crowned Fund of Funds by funds from the Northwest region at their next palace of the Fund of Caution in Douala went viral on social media. Later, Northwest Funds resident in the littoral region issued a disclaimer qualifying what is said to have happened in His Royal Majesty Jill Wilson's palace as a desecration of traditional artifacts and attributes from the Northwest region. A similar message came from the Northwest House of Chiefs condemning the reported crowning of Samuel Eto'o as Fund of Funds and on Tumfo. We went finding out what exactly happened at the palace of Jill Wilson in Douala on January 17, 2025.
The only president in Cameroon that is Fund of Funds is President Paul Biya. Let people be reasonable the way they do things. Let my colleagues and let the world and other people stop saying things that doesn't make sense. You can revisit my speeches. Go through what transpired in my palace here on Friday. You will hear all what I said. It was on the social media. It was recorded. Nowhere I mentioned that president of Cameroon Football Federation was Fund of Funds. I don't enthrone people Fund of Funds, but I have the capacity and the powers to honor somebody and crown him as my Tumfo.
He further explains the difference between the traditional titles Fund of Funds and Tumfo, or messenger of the fund.
When they say Fund of Funds, it means you are more than the fund himself. Tumfo is the message carrier of the fund, a messenger of the fund, the porte-parole, as they say, of the fund, the messenger to go out and hunt and bring good things for the palace, for the fundum, a messenger to take care of the well-being of the fund. I designated Samuel Eto'o and raised him to the notable title of Tumfo as a messenger of Caution Palace, as a messenger to bring me good news, to take care of my palace, to take care of my people, and to take care of the people of my division.
Such titles had been given to Samuel Eto'o and even foreign nationals by other funds of the Northwest region and other parts of the country.
Now we talk something else. The population of Goma in the Douala 5 subdivision are decrying a forceful eviction exercise that wants to be carried out in their neighborhood. They say an individual is claiming ownership of their 60 hectares of land, which they bought and have invested for the past 20 years. We have greater details with Eselu Siliengo.
The population of Goma in the Douala 5 subdivision expressed indignation and frustration as they denounce the dispossession of their land documented under the reference number 25,465 Vuribi.
Je suis fatigué, je n'ai plus l'argent où je peux travailler l'argent pour acheter encore sur le terrain.
On Saturday, 18th of January 2025, the people carried out a protest on a nearly 60-hectare piece of land. It took the intervention of the forces of law and order to calm the angry population. But the victims say they are determined to fight for their rights because 20 years ago they invested a huge amount to purchase the land. An accusing finger is being pointed at the man. We bought the land 20 years ago, and 2 years ago a man presented a land title that superimposed us. However, the problem was brought to the court and ruled in our favor. We went further to invest on our land. And one morning, we woke up to our greatest surprise, seeing everything being destroyed. Again, the protesters see the forceful eviction as fraud, as the accused is not connected to Ngoma village.
Sur le titre, on a écrit bien lieu dit lundi. Lundi n'est pas Ngoma. Mais ils disent que non, lundi par prolongation veut dire qu'on peut tomber en Ngoma.
The land dispute in Goma brings to the limelight the issue of legitimacy and ownership of land rights in the country.
Ici au Cameroun, s'il faut acheter le terrain et que après qu'on vienne l'arracher de cette manière.
In distress, the population call on the Minister of State Property and Land Tenure to respond to their plight.
Now we take you out of Cameroon, where at least 70 people have died while trying to collect fuel from an overturned tanker. The incident occurred in the north-central part of Nigeria. Greater details with Babila Jonathan.
Nigeria's emergency response agency has said at least 70 people have died in the north-central of the country after a gasoline tanker exploded after crashing in the early hours of Saturday. Nearly all the victims were locals who had rushed to collect the fuel that spilled when the tanker overturned. This was not the first incident of its kind. With the absence of an efficient railway system to transport cargo, fatal truck accidents are common along most of the major roads in Nigeria. In addition, the petrol price has gone up by over 400% since May 2023, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu scrapped a decade-old fuel subsidy. This had led many to risk their lives to recover fuel during tanker truck accidents. In October last year, more than 170 people died in a similar incident in Jigawa State in the north of the country.
We still stay out of Cameroon, where the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, will be taking over the oath of office today in a highly attended ceremony that is at the Capitol. As the ceremony is happening at the moment, our reporter, Fomi Armstrong-Sander, gives us details on who really is Donald Trump. His report.
Donald Trump was born in Queens, New York on June 14, 1964. His father, Fred Trump, was a successful real estate developer. Trump was educated at the New York Military Academy and the Wharton School of Finance and Commerce at the University of Pennsylvania. In 1971, he took over his father's real estate company, renaming it the Trump Organization. The business soon became involved in a variety of projects, including hotels, resorts, residential and commercial buildings, casinos, and golf courses. His first of the many books was The Art of the Deal, published in 1987. In 2004, he launched the reality television show The Apprentice. In 2005, Donald Trump got married to the wife Melania Trump. They have one son, Barron. Trump also has 4 other children from previous marriages, notably Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, and Tiffany Trump. During the 2016 primary, Donald Trump defeated more than a dozen rivals to win the Republican nomination. While he lost the popular vote, Donald Trump defeated former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in the general election by winning a majority of Electoral College votes. His campaign slogan was "Make America Great Again." Without previous elected political experience, Donald Trump used unconventional methods to communicate his priorities. Most notably, he used the social media platform Twitter as a primary mechanism for direct communication with the American public, other politicians, and the press corps. In 2018, there was a partial government shutdown as Donald Trump disagreed with Congress over funding of a border war between the United States of America and Mexico. Donald Trump lost re-election to Democratic candidate Joe Biden, but publicly claimed widespread voter fraud had affected the outcome. On January 13, 2021, Trump's action resulted in the House of Representatives' approval of another article of impeachment, notably the incitement of insurrection. He is the only president in the United States history to be impeached twice by Congress.
For me, Armstrong-Sander, ending this first part of the news. Talking Point is up next. My guest tonight is Fonju Wilson. He is the chief of Kosin village. It's located in the Menchum division, northwest region of Cameroon. It's a pleasure having you on Talking Point tonight, Mbe.
Thank you. You're welcome, and fellow spectators. You're welcome. Grateful and honored to have you.
You are of Kosin village. It is a village, as I earlier said, located in Menchum division, northwest region of Cameroon. This title, which you recently gave to the president of Fika Food, Samuel Etofis, has sparked a lot of controversies with regards to this title. Now, I want to know from you, is it within your competence for you to give Samuel Etofis the title Tumfon, which means messenger?
Thank you very much. It is my right and my competence to designate somebody a notable in my palace. We have so many titles. You have Tumfon, you have Tumquifon, you have Chinda, you have Mafo, you have all those titles. I have the competence to give a title of notability to somebody in my palace. Somebody who have rendered services to my village, my community, my palace. I have the right to tell him thank you by honoring him, giving him a red feather, giving him the title of Tumfon, and many other titles, as you can name the rest, as demanded by the Kosin custom and tradition.
Now that Samuel Etofis is not from your area, Kosin village, is it normal for someone who is not from your area to get a title like Tumfon? According to our tradition, for sure.
What can push a traditional ruler to give such a title? That title doesn't have limitations or restrictions to nationals of North of Kosin and so on and so forth. There are some notable titles that you can give in your village to your subject of origin that is strictly meant for subject of Kosin. Why there are some notable titles that you can give to people not from the origin of the Kosin. Title of Tumfon is one of the biggest titles, with Tumquifon in my fandom. I consider him like a Koshian, somebody from Kosin, with what he has done to my people, what he has done to me, and what he has done for Cameroon as a whole. I decided to honor him by taking him to the highest rank of the title of Tumfon of Kosin, because what it has done, some people originated from Kosin as subject cannot do. So I have adopted him, I'm taking him like a Kosin man, and he has the right. He has the right to be decorated by me within my village, and Kosin village is an independent village and doesn't rely under any other village. And I believe in the Northwest, any village is independent and any phone has autonomy over its village. Nobody controls another phone's village.
But what's the significance of the title Tumfon?
Tumfon is the palace messenger, the messenger of the phone. The messenger of the phone, the spokesman of the phone, Tumfon, work as a mediator with the palace and the external world, be it with the nation, be it with Africa or the world as a whole. So he carries the problem of my fandom, he carries the problem of my community to the right quarters. We have various ministries in Cameroon that maybe we may be having a problem with health center, we may be having a problem with water. We can write and hand it to him. We can address the minister, we hand it to him to take it to give more weight, because he's known and they will hear it. He will say, oh, he's defending the case for my people. So that is, and he has also helped some of my village elite to go out of the country. He has done many things, and those, my elite, are now dependent. They are assisting the village, assisting the palace. So I have the right to thank him, because it's not easy. That's what pushed me to honor him. After he came to greet me, after our wedding, he was not present, and he came to the palace. I decided to honor him, to put him Tumfon of Kosin Fondom, but not Tumfon of Northwest. Neither Fon of Fon, he is not. The only Fon of Fon is President Paul Biya.
Now, you are standing on the fact that you never gave Samuel Etofi's the title of Fund of Funds as it is being purported on social media. But then, we have the president of the Northwest House of Chief Yekum Kelvin, of course, and also some traditional rulers from the Northwest region who are currently based in Douala, who in their different communiques wrote about you giving that title to Samuel Etofi. I'd like to know from you, can you better clarify us on this aspect?
Thank you. It is misinformation. It is misinformation. They have been misled by social media. We know we have detractors, and maybe after this ceremony, when they saw it too, so they had to transform the message that I made it to Fund of Funds. That was not the case. I don't have the powers, neither I have the capacity to make it to Fund of Funds. In Cameroon, we have one and only Fund of Funds, which is the head of state. One person in Cameroon, and he was made Fund of Funds by all funds of Northwest. It came to my palace alone. I took upon me to give him honor and to decorate him, to raise him to the rank of Tomb Fund of Cochin Palace, but my detractors and social media had to transform the message the other way around. And then my colleagues of Regional House could not even call me to find out, but he saw on social media and just signed a communique against me, which was wrong. As an administrator, you have to take your time to investigate, follow up, do findings to know what transpired. There are videos, what took place in my palace and all over on social media. There was no hidden video. Many people took it with their phones. Go over this video and find out if you see anywhere where I mentioned that it was Fund of Funds. Nowhere. Nowhere. It's a criminal offense to lay blames on me and spoil my name, my image for nothing.
Fund Joe Wilson, Chief of Cochin Village in Mencham Division, Northwest Region of Cameroon. Thank you so much for your time. And that's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your keen attention. Stay in the company of more interesting programs on ETV. Coming up next in some few minutes is a program, Equinoxe. Bye-bye for now. See you tomorrow, God willing.